So within the past 10 years, definitely within the past 5 years, to be modest, I have been seeing this term, a one world order or a one world government, um, kind of popping up here and there. But there's not a lot of coverage on it, um, at least that I see. Uh, and it really makes sense. Why? Because all of these countries are really trying their damnedest to distract, right, the sheep, distract the average day folk, um, for, to keep them from seeing what all is happening, right, underneath the curtains. And so if you've been paying attention to this, you've probably seen clips here and there of, countries meeting in secret, right? Because I'm pretty sure you could probably find these clips somewhere. Um, but talking about a one world order, right? Or pushing that kind of narrative. Um, and guys, that's really terrifying. You understand? That's really terrifying. It really is. And it should terrify you. Um, because look around you today, right? Look at how accelerated our decline has become. Um, it's not going to be before long where people are starving because they can't afford food. When that happens, collapse is imminent. And I anticipate that to happen very soon, definitely within the next 5 years, with how accelerated this shit has happened. So, because people were already having enough hard enough time paying for food anyways. No one can go, to Walmart, and pay $300-400 for groceries for the next few weeks. That's insane. Especially if most of us are making anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 a year. That's just impossible. But it is all designed, managed, right? And we're seeing this term managed decline. That should really tell you all that you really need to know about what's really going on. And where I was getting at earlier to kind of, come into this is that you see the economic factors, the political, the social, and just the culture in general, how everything is declining all at the same time. And it's not just our country that's feeling the pain. It's the UK, Ireland, France, Japan, Korea, China as well. We're seeing all this shit happen all at the same time. I don't believe it's coincidence, and I don't think you would believe it's a coincidence either. And so what's even more terrifying is that, all of these backdoor deals are happening, yet the people would much rather stay blind to what's going on and just not really do anything about it. That's the truly terrifying part, is that there are so many people out there that will not take a stand for anything. They won't go and protest. They won't call the representatives. They won't stand for anything. They'll just keep going to work, coming back home, escaping reality. And that's it. They'll only worry about things when they are directly affected by it. But then again, I think it has to come to that point. I think it really does, because people aren't going to do anything until you have tyranny literally knocking on your door. But is that really what it's got to take? Does it have to take your sons, your daughters starving to death because you can't afford food? Because these fucking bills are so goddamn high. Is it really going to take that for you to actually get up and do something? Not anything violent, because I don't condone violence. I don't want to see that anyways. But is that what it's going to take? Because no matter who you vote for isn't going to help you, because you don't have the power to influence their policies, their laws. You know who does? The lobbyists. These corporate CEOs who are lining their pockets. That's who has the power. And that's the actual government. And they're everywhere. And hand over fist. They are giving money to these politicians hand over fist. It's also why these MLMs are still being able to operate. I anticipate as things get worse, obviously the birth rate is going to collapse. It's 1.6 here. I don't know what it is in Korea. I would imagine not better. But I do know in China, in some places, it's 0.67. You know, what's interesting is that these are polar opposites in politics. Communism and, well, we're not even in a capitalist nation anymore. You know, a lot of people look at what's going on today, and they believe it's capitalism because that's what they've been told to believe. But it's not a capitalist society that we are anymore. We live more actually in a monopoly, because look at what happened with COVID. Yeah, I keep bringing it up, but it's so true. Look at the small business owners who were thrown in jail for violating COVID policies. I thought this was a free fucking nation, but people are forced to do something against their will. That's not a free nation. I thought we had a free market, but you know, some businesses were shut down while Walmart could operate, while Kroger, Target could operate without enforcement of these policies. We live in a monopoly. It's a monopoly. It's not a capitalist society. Again, I think Karl Marx made a point that capitalism does lead to communism, and that's simply because of the greediness of humanity. I think he made a good point there that everything eventually leads to communism simply by human nature. And so I think ultimately what's really going on right now is that all of these countries are being managed, right, into a state of collapse, so that eventually all of these governments can come together and there would be an election of some kind, right, or maybe an appointment of some kind for a quote unquote one world government. And that might be within our lifetime. I don't know. What does sicken me is that our way of life is actively being threatened right now. That's been very evident. because they have been incredibly aggressive with attacking our First Amendment and our Second Amendment rights, especially our Fifth Amendment rights. Through these red flag laws. But people just don't see it. Either that, or they just don't really care. I remember when Trump was calling for red flag laws as well, and I remember when Trump was also talking about banning, was it bump stocks? I think it was bump stocks, and it was also suppressors. And I very specifically remember him talking about violating people's right to due process. Again, the Fifth Amendment right. And talking about taking people's firearms away, perhaps for red flag reasons, before trials. I think that's something incredibly un-American. That's why I didn't vote for him anymore. I was disgusted. But and also in our political sphere, third party candidates can't even more often are they kicked out of the campaigns than they are allowed to run. I remember looking into Jo Jorgensen in 2020, and I thought she was okay, but obviously, as more of a traditional guy, I don't believe women should be running the country. Should definitely be at home, taking care of the home and the kids. But I guess if it has to take a fucking woman, to stand up and do what needs to be done because the men are so fucking weak today, I guess that's what it takes. Not saying women can't lead at all, of course, but that's not the duty for a woman, right? Women should be taken care of and safe in the home. And it's just not that way. But this isn't a conversation about women and all that stuff. This is about the decline in the one world government. We're seeing everything happen all at once. And it's all happening very fast. It's hard for us to really pay attention to everything that's going on. And we've been conditioned for distraction. We've been conditioned to just work, to not be able to think for ourselves and to be distracted. Makes sense why all of these apps are coming out, conditioning us to not become self-aware and not become situationally aware, right? TikTok proved that one, and all of these shorts as well. If they can get you so short, so short spanned in your attention, they can distract you with whatever while they're doing something else behind the curtains, and you're not going to know what hit you because, well, you're not really thinking about it. So we've all been conditioned, especially here in the West, to live a certain way, perform a certain way, and now we're wondering why everything's getting so hard. I think more people are starting to wake up, and that's great. I would love to see more people wake up and become aware to what's really going on. Because look, it doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, men, women. We're all getting fucked over. And listen, it's always going to be the women who gets fucked over the most. Hate to tell you guys, but it is. The reason for that is because women are always at the mercy of men. And if there are no good men to defend the women, right, they're fucked. This is why women have always needed strong, capable, masculine men. Because it's those men who kept them safe and secure. So, we are in hard times, surrounded by a bunch of weak men. Most men, especially here in the West, are weak. Weak-minded, weak-willed, and just physically weak. And so, listen, we've allowed this to happen. Man or woman, we've allowed this to happen. And we're not doing anything about it. So, there can be things done about it. Again, protest. Protest, peacefully, obviously. Get the message to these motherfuckers. To these elites of our society. But also remember, guys, you can't vote your way out of tyranny. Can't do it. So, again, I don't want to see any violence. I don't condone it at all. But just keep in mind. Just keep in mind, it's not gonna get better. I don't see it getting better at all. You know, to sit here and just hope for the best and to pray. But I mean, I'm not really I'm not religious at all, but to just for that to be the only thing that you're doing, it's not helping the situation. It's not helping at all. Get up and do something. I'm doing this here. And so, I don't know what else to do. But this is what's actually happening. This is what's actually happening. They've conditioned us to be sheep being led to the slaughter. That's what's going on. They're taking all of our things away that make us happy. They're actively making us more anxious, more angry, more aggressive. Not with them, not with the elites. No, not with the elites of society. No, with each other. With each other. So, they're actively trying to see who's going to march in line and who isn't. And the people that do, obviously they'll get more of a leg up, but they'll still be used as well. You know? And so they're actively inciting all of these different things to lead to a collapse. And this is happening worldwide. So, only before long, before everything collapses all at once, and when that happens, that'll be the golden opportunity. You know, for these people, whoever they are, wherever they are, to do whatever they're planning on doing. So, keep a watchful eye. Keep a watchful eye. Hold these people accountable. Expose them for who they are and what they're doing. That's probably about the best thing you could do. Is just expose these guys for doing what they're doing. Just the evilness of what they're trying to do. So, but I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And let me know what you guys think. You know, it's been a little bit since I've looked into this, but it's something that I had on my mind today. And, you know, it's something that not a whole lot of people are talking about. And I think that's something that really should be talked about. Because where one American is threatened, all of us are threatened. or I should say, where one American's rights are threatened, all of our rights are threatened. That's a better way to put it. We're all Americans at the end of the day. We're all people. We all bleed the same color. Doesn't matter who you vote for. Doesn't matter what sex you are, what race you are. We're all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. And we should all stand with one another. So don't fight each other over your politics. If you truly care about this country and you truly care about the rights of the people, then you should try your best to have an intelligent and respectful conversation with someone, whether you agree with them politically, socially, or religiously, or not. So, united we stand, divided we fall, guys. You got to remember that. And so, we got to love each other, not hate each other. I hate seeing this, man. I hate seeing all the hate, all of this disgusting, degenerate behavior. I hate seeing it. We got to bring the patriotism back. Love for our fellow countrymen. So, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, guys. I think I said all I needed to say. Let me know what you guys think. Again, please, I want to hear your thoughts. I read the comments, I respond to them. So I would love to hear what you guys are thinking. And what are you guys are seeing? What are you guys seeing? Please let me know. I'd love to, strike up some more conversation. And if you guys happen to have more information than I do, please help me out. All right. So that being said, guys, I'll be looking into this stuff myself, probably take a deep dive into it, and I'll let you guys know what I find. But I just kind of wanted to, just talk about the basic stuff, stuff that stuff that, a lot of people already do know. So, but, until then, guys, please make sure you are taking care of yourselves. Take care of each other too, okay? You must be fit in the mind and the body, okay? I kind of slipped last couple days, but you best believe I got in that gym today and I pushed hard. And I got a good workout, and I'll probably be sore as fuck tomorrow. So, but please, guys, take care of yourselves and take care of each other too. All right? Because that's all we have at the end of the day. Well, all we have is ourselves, right? So, I love each and every single one of you. Again, I see you guys as my family members. So if there's anything that you need from me, please reach out. Anything at all, okay? And I'll see what I can do. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you all a good day. I'll talk to you guys soon.